Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Programming in My Way. In this session, we are going to see elements of user-defined function. In previous session, we have seen what is the definition of function. So you know that function is a block of code which performs a particular task. Then we have seen what is the need of function in C language, which are the advantages, which are the drawbacks of function we have seen. So this function is very important programming construct of any programming language. So this is very important. Then we have also discussed about the types of function. So you know that there are two types of function, library function and user-defined function. So you know that library functions are available in header files and they are written by developer of C language, whereas user-defined functions, they are written by the developers, that is the user of C language. Okay, and they are not present in any of the header file. So now in this session, the agenda of this session is how to create our own function in C language. That is how to create user-defined function that we are going to see. But before writing the user-defined function, you should know which are the elements of user-defined function. Which are the elements of user-defined function. So our topic is elements of user-defined function. Elements of user-defined function. So there are three elements of user-defined function. First one is function declaration. It is also called as function prototype. Second element is function call. And the third element is function definition. Function definition. So these are the three elements of user-defined function. So whenever you want to create your own function, you need to create these three elements: function declaration, function call, and function definition. So you should have these three things with you to use your own function in C program. So let us start with these elements one by one. We are going to see their syntax, what is the meaning of that element, and we'll see the example of each element. So let us start. So the first element is function declaration, or it is also called as function prototype. So first we'll see what is the syntax of this. So first thing is, or the first sub element of this function declaration is return type. There should be return type. Next, sub element is function name, then this rounded parenthesis, and then parameter list. Parameter list, bracket complete, and terminating semicolon. So function declaration or function prototype consists of return type, then function name, then rounded parenthesis, opening rounded parenthesis, parameter list, closing rounded parenthesis, and terminating semicolon. Now these parameter lists are formal parameters. These are formal parameters, you should remember. Okay, now what is return type? So you know that the variables have data type, so functions have return type. So function is going to accept some values as input, as well as function can return some output. So the type of that output is nothing but the return type. Whenever any function is returning, for example, suppose there is a return 5, Suppose this line is there. So this is add is a function and this return 5. So this add function is returning 5 value. So what is the type of 5? Integer. So the return type of this add should be integer. Okay, so this value is returning by whom? Add function. So the return type of add should be the type of this 5. So what is the type of 5? It is integer. So there should be int value, int return type for this add function. So same concept we are using. So return type can be int, it can be float, it can be char, it can be double, and if your function is not returning any value, then it can be void. So return type can be int, it can be float, it can be char, it can be double, or it can be void. So return type can be void. In addition to this, we can also return the pointer. You should remember, we'll see that in further lectures. So see, return type can be anyone from this. Then what is function name? So function name you can give any, because see, this function will be user defined function. So as a user of C language, you have the flexibility to decide this function name, but you should follow the rules of identifier. So we already discussed the rules of identifier. So it can have the letters, that is from small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, then 0 to 9. You can also have the underscore special symbol, but you know that the identifier should not start with digit. It should be either start with underscore or letter. So those rules are there. So you can give any name to function name as function name, but you should follow the rules of identifier. So I can give add name. I can give add name to my function. I can also give add 1 2. I can also give underscore add. So they are the rules you should remember. Then there is a bracket, formal parameter list. So from this formal parameter list, you can understand that how many inputs are there to your function. So suppose you are performing the swapping of two number. So for swap function there will be two inputs. So you can give that list here. Okay, so how to give that list? Suppose my function is swap. So bracket, I can give two variables. So see here, my user defined function is swap, and see this swap function is taking two inputs. Okay, so that input will be received in x and y variable respectively, and see whatever input this swap is going to receive, the type of that input should be int and int. Okay, so from this bracket you can understand that how many inputs are there to your swap function. And in this case we are not returning any value because there are two values. Okay, output of swapping should be two values. So in C we can't return more than one value at a time by using return statement. So that's why swap is not returning any value. So that's why I'm giving void as return type. And the last one is your terminating semicolon. So see, this is one of the function declaration. Now suppose I want to calculate the addition of two number. So I can give add as function name, and see in this case I am returning integer value. So this is also valid. We can also omit variable names in function declaration. We can give only data type. This is also okay. This is also valid. So it is not necessary that you should give the variable names. If you give, that is also okay. If you did not give, that is also okay. Compiler can understand that. So see, add is a function which is going to accept two integer values as input, and this add function will return one output and its type is integer. So this is what function declaration. So see, function declarations are actually optional. If you did not declare a function, then that is also okay. But as a good programmer, you should declare your function. That will reduce the burden of compiler. So whenever compiler will reach to this line, at this moment only compiler can understand the user has created one function whose name is add, and that function is going to receive two inputs, two values as input, and their type is integer, and that function is going to return one output and its type is int. So this information will be understandable by your compiler at this moment only. But if you did not this, then also it will be okay, but that will what we can say, that will add the compiler's efforts. Then compiler need to reach to function call, and then by matching function call with function definition, then compiler can decide if what is the input to that function and what is the output from that function. Okay, so there may be some problems at linking time. So what you can do, as a good programmer, you should always declare function. That will reduce the efforts or burden on compiler. Okay, so though they are optional, you should add them. Okay, so that will reduce the efforts of compiler. So this is what function declaration. So remember that the formal parameters are present in function declaration. So this is the syntax and these are the examples. Now we'll see the second element, that is function call. Second element is function call. So function call is very important. Without function call, you can't execute your function. So function call is very important. Function call actually allows compiler to execute the function definition, and the function declaration, whatever function declaration we have seen. Again, there are two places in which you can declare your function: global place and local place. So global place means what? Before main you can declare your function. See, suppose this is main function, suppose this is main body or main definition. Before this main you can declare your function. See, this is function declaration. So what I have done, I have declared this swap function before main. So this place is called as global place. This is global place. So this function declaration is called as global declaration. Global declaration. This is one method. You can also declare this function inside main. Inside main also you can declare like this. Here also you can declare your function. But this place is called as local place. So in this case, main only know about your swap function. So other functions which are there in your program, they don't know about this swap function. If you declare this swap inside main, only main will know about this swap function. So that's why we are always declaring our function globally, that is before main, so that all other functions, they will know about your function if you declare them globally, that is before main. So this also you should remember in function declaration. Now the second element is function call. So what is the syntax? So function name and then parameter list. Parameter list, bracket, semicolon, and these parameters are actual parameters. These parameters are actual parameter. And see, there is no return type here. Okay, because here you are actually calling the function. So see, function name and then bracket, there will be actual parameters and semicolon. So see, the function name can be any valid C identifier, and this will be actual parameter list. That means from this point you are actually calling this function and you are passing the input to this function. Okay, so there should be semicolon. So example C, suppose I'm using the swap function. So function name is swap, and see, I can give here a comma b, a comma b. So in a and b, suppose you have these variables, this is a and 20, b 20, a 10 and b 20. So see, I'm giving here variable names. So swap function will be called by passing this 10 and 20 value to swap. So this 10 and 20 value will be given to swap function as an input. You can also directly give values here. You can also directly give values here. But this is again not correct programming practice. We should ask user to enter the values and then we should give the variables here, so that the values which are present in variable, they will be passed to this swap function. So this function is accepting two inputs, but it is not returning any output. But there may be a situation in which, suppose I am using add function and I'm giving two input to add function. See, so I'm calling add function by passing two values to add. So 10 and 20 I'm passing to add function, and suppose this add function will calculate the addition of two number, and suppose add is returning something back. Okay, add is returning something back. So that something you can receive here on left hand side. So this, consider this is again integer variable. So whatever result is written by that add function, that will be collected in this variable. Okay, so this will be required whenever your function is returning some value. Okay, so in that case, on left hand side of this add, you'll require some variable to receive that result which is written by this add function. So you should remember this also. Now very important thing, see, I'm just giving you scenario. So consider this is int main, and suppose there is a, at the end there is a return 0. Getting? So this is main, is, we already discussed that main is user defined function, but it is special user defined function because body of function, body of this main function we are writing, but we can't change the syntax of main. That's why it is a special user defined function. And one more is a main is not present in any of the header file. So main is a special user defined function. Now suppose I have add function. So see, this is function definition. We are going to see that later. So see how to call this add function. Okay, how to call this add function. So see what I'm doing. I am calling that add function here. And suppose I'm giving two input to add. So see what I'm doing here. I'm taking two variables. So this main is a function, main is a user defined function. Now see, inside a main we have two variables, a and b, and consider that we have received the two inputs from user and we have stored them inside a and b, and then we are calling add function by passing the a and b. So what will be passed to add function? 10 and 20. So see, whenever compiler will see this particular function call, compiler will jump from this point to this point. Compiler, whenever compiler see function call, compiler will jump from that point to function definition. Then it will execute the function definition, and once the execution of function definition is finished, again it will return back to this point, and then it will continue the remaining part of your main function. This is the flow. So see, here in this case, main is calling add function. Main is calling add function. So main is called as calling function. Main is called as calling function, and add is called function. Add is called function. Add is called by main. So main is a calling function and add is a called function. So remember this. And the declaration of this add function is present before main or inside main, no problem. But if you take inside main, then that will be local. If you take before main, that will be global. So see, this will be function call, and this will be function definition. Okay, now if this add is returning some value, suppose add has calculated the addition and suppose add is returning 30. So what is the type of this 30? Integer. So return type of this add should be integer. Return type of this add should be integer. Okay, now to whom this 30 will be sent or returned? Main function, because see, main has given those two values to add function. So add should return the result back to main function. But see, where this 30 result will be collected. So see, on left hand side of this add, here that result will be collected. So I am taking one more integer variable, that is c, and in this c variable I am collecting that 30. So this 30 will be collected in this c variable. Okay, so see, now how this a and b will be passed to add. So this definitely we require some variables to receive those values. Getting? So this a value will be copied in x, b value will be copied in y. Then we'll perform some addition, okay, and then that addition will be again returned back to main function. And inside main we are taking one variable, c variable, and we are receiving that result in c variable, and then you can print the result. So that will be the flow. So here main is a calling function and add is a called function. So your function call is present in calling function, remember that. Okay, function call is present in calling function. Okay, and whenever compiler see function call, it will jump from that point to function definition. Once the execution of function definition is finished, again it will return back to the same point where it was left the execution, and then it will continue the remaining part of your main function. So you should remember this is very important. So this is the second element, function call. And the third one is function definition. Function definition. So see, whatever the syntax we have seen for function declaration, first take that as it is. So we have already seen this. There is a return type, then function name, then formal parameter list, and semicolon was there, but don't take semicolon in function definition, except everything you can take. Okay, and then starting curly brace, and see the local variable declaration, some executable statements, your logic, or you can write main logic, implementation of your function, and then return statements if required. Getting? And then this bracket. So this is the general syntax of function definition. Function definition is also called as function implementation. So see the return type. So we already seen that return type can be int, float, char, double, or it can be void. Then function name can be valid C identifier, formal parameter list. So whatever the values which are sent by the calling function, they will be received in this formal parameter. Okay, they are the dummy values. So formal parameters. Then suppose you are performing addition of two numbers, so you'll require again some variable to store that result. So that will be local variable declaration. These are also local variables. Then executable statement, your logic, addition of two numbers, C equal to A plus B, and the return statement, return C. Okay, so this will be function definition. So we'll see the example of this. Consider I am taking addition of two numbers. So add is my function, and suppose add is taking two inputs. So we'll require two variables here. Now here variables, declaration of variable is compulsory. In the case of function declaration, variable declaration is not compulsory. You can take only data types. But in case of function definition, they are compulsory. Okay. And suppose add is returning int value. and is returning int value. Suppose this add function is called by main function, and suppose main passed two values 10 and 20 to this add function, so that 10 value will be received in x and 20 value will be received in y variable. Getting? And suppose this is x, so we have received 10 and 20 in x and y, and suppose to calculate, suppose I am taking z, okay, to store the result of addition I am taking z and then x plus y. So see, this is local variable, x, y and z, these are local variables. And see, this is what function statement or main logic. So I'm performing the addition of these two 10 20 and I'm storing that to z. So this is your z variable, so 30 will be stored, and then there will be return statement, so return z. So see, return z, so what will be written? 30 will be written to whom? Main function, or to the function who called this add function. Okay, so the return type of this add function should be int. Why it is int? Because the data type of this z is integer, so this should match. The return type of function and the type of value which will be returned, that should be same. The return type of this function and the type of this z should be same, otherwise there will be problem. So this is what example of function definition. Okay, so in next video we'll see the example of function, user defined function, or how to write a program by using user defined function. So if you like my demonstration, then please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Programming in My Way. Thank you.